It's the porky-puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down Out-of-Date's leg. Hook the boom ball and threw it beneath the puff. Unleash the quacks. Ain't that true? The two of them playing with quacks. Can you feel it? It's the brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out-of-Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. He trusts you know where to find Out-of-Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Goop knows he's repeating himself, but can't help talking to you. Has plenty to do, so no worries. Listen to the creatures of the night. Go on, catch it. There it is, the Tree of Life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. The light's coming back. Handy. If you close your eyes hard enough to reality, your mind opens to let memories in. That's one way to remember what's forgotten. When an unwanted memory intrudes on the mind, it is a natural reaction to want to block it out or just change it. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Good thing you recalled how to activate the automaton's health injector. That will be useful. Check out that plastic scrap over there. Each new day means new chances. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. He promises he'll be there for you. Just come talk to him beneath the tree if you're feeling lost. Out of Date says there's a time for everything. And now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Gizmo in the West. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Gizmo. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Gizmo and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's forebodings are justified. The jumbo puff needs to be taken care of. Out of Date says that Gizmo is worried now that the Western World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Gizmo is working on a scrap walker vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of Date suggests that you should head west as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He wonders what's on your mind. Says you should take it easy. Your feet feel like you're wearing squishy sponges. You found the whereabouts, the deepest, darkest forest in the land, sometimes hard to see for all the trees. That's a Jagni tribe outpost. It's the Chug Yard. Blackness covers the world. Someone locked it solid. The board mainly has posts from those that used to work at the chug yard back in the days gone. They don't make much sense these days. Not much more to say about the board, but Gizmo is holed up in the underyard here working on that mekton of his. The Toxanol Corporation used to run chugger-chuggers out of here, big machines on rails with smokestacks that fouled the air. They can carry you anywhere you like. Well, anywhere that they go to, and then you can leg it from there. You're on the right track. Keep your eyes open. Tribes always scavenging for scrap, and the yard has plenty to go around. But they should have stuck to looting instead of playing around with sprockets. The light you see at night is brighter than you think. The scrap keeps piling up. Bomper Bonker's busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Yes, you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Now, let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end, in flames. Let's see. It's a wonder some of these up and downs still work. Guess they built machines better in the past. The spent nuclear fuel that Toxanol dumped in the surf had detrimental effects on the marine habitats, while the overflowing landfills contaminated the groundwater. Combined, this sent their world hurtling on an inevitable road to ruin. I need to brush up on my Wando, but I have a feeling he believes it was you that caused the bang at the yard. Oh, and he says he knows you. You used to call him Gizmo. He gave you the oil-greased hands when he taught you how to upcycle. Gizmo remembers you as a nice kidling, and he can still sense the warmth of your good heart. But Gizmo says how you experience a memory can be different. You know the story, but sometimes the truth it brings is personal. He hopes you remember that one time he taught you to upcycle, and hopes you've had some use for it over the years. He understands history made Loop-a-Loopin a big part of your past, your present, and soon, your future. You still believe there's some good in everyone. You still have hope for tomorrow. He says you should know that what's meant to be will always find a way, but history shouldn't consume you. Gizmo understands you still have strong feelings, but urges you to keep them under control. You've witnessed firsthand what it'll lead to.
Oh, the light it hurts your eyes, am I right?
Life in the shade is cold.
It's the perfect thing when the world's heating up.
So you're agreeing that the dark is nothing more than shade?
Look, I'm great at throwing shade and you're only good for catching it.
Sad to see the Tree of Life is going to die and take everything with it, but it's not like he didn't expect it. Grateful to you for coming back and doing your best to change things. You were the only chance they had. Wonders if you liked working with the Jagni. They always hunker down in their homes, gathering their things around them. But that's not important now. Gizmo says it's taken a long time to bring the past up to the present, and where you go from here is up to you. You need to set the past aside, at least for now. You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the Mectons strong enough to fight the Jumbo Puff. It's the part of the land that suffered most from the apocalypse. It's deprived of oxygen, making it next to impossible for anything but creatures that were most contorted by the contamination. There's short of breath and death to this zone. Better take care. He who half breathes, half lives. That's the leftover you're looking for. Keep on tracking down here and things will look up eventually. Your head is still spinning. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. He says that's enough to get the Mekton functional. You'll have an engine, a fuel soaker, a gun and a gathering net, but no armor, nor enough oxygen supply. Something he devised to salvage valuables from the ground. There are usually spots hidden beneath puddles of oily goo where you can use the net. He's been working on another project for the Mekton, a cannon, but it needs ammunition, and by that he means the scripts. He says if they're trained right, they'll turn into a distraction for the jumbo puff. The best way to find scripts is to go talk to Moog. He knows the ins and outs of every breathing thing left alive after the apocalypse. Unfortunately, this means you'll have to venture farther out into the dead zone than Moog's camp on the steep depot. Once you find Moog, he'll be able to give you directions to where you'll find scripts. Gizmo thinks he's a little peculiar, but very knowledgeable. He has the ins and outs of all monster and creature whereabouts. There are some gorgeous colors returning to the world. The grease monkey's Mekton is built sturdy, just like himself. Can you imagine how this place used to look before the dead oil flood? Might want to hold your breath before you head any further. You're about to witness the breathtaking vistas of what's known as the Dead Zone. In the old world, roads like this really led somewhere. Now, most of them lead to disaster. That over there is Steepo Depot, the cliffside that Moog hangs on to. This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be. Claims he goes after the most dangerous game, huge monsters.
Badayan Analove.
Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. Claims he mostly kills whoever he doesn't like. Worries that when the world dies, there won't be any monsters left. What will he shoot then? Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Approves of you working with the Jagni. They have the hunting spirits of a flock of hawks. Enjoys it when he gets the chance, though they're not much good against monsters. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Says as big as they are, the world is bigger. To find where they are, you need to see where they've been. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a SOVIP cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Says you stick to the hunting and shots present themselves later. The day is wasting. Time to get to it. Wait, it's the SOVIP-HOLEUP. Place is just filled with critters. Halfway there. That's more like it. Not everything goes together. Time to do it on your own. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Hope you grabbed a big breath. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now, otherwise he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wrek boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He got the idea to build the Mekton when he found a big crate containing the metal frame for something Toxanol had named an exoskeleton. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says talking to you was interesting. It's a brand new day. Bullets everywhere. Imagine that. You could just go to a place like this to get a proper meal back in the old world. Right where it cuts. Life looks different from a cockpit. There's a place and time for everything, but for that city scenario, it's already come and gone. Finding some thick air might be wise soon. Crack open that tin can and escape. Bangshelter 7B is still there, open and ready to shelter. Watch it. Rid of the aches and pains. Don't forget the past. Learn from it. Let's see.